I made a 4-tire inflate deflate system, and I just wanted to do a video of it and kind of tell everyone kind of how I did it. There's lots of how-tos. I'm not going to go through how to connect hose clamps and that kind of stuff. Just going to show you what I made. So I got this bag here. It's a jumper cable bag off of Amazon, and it fits the system perfectly. I've always been using the Smittybilt 2781 compressor. I've had this for probably 5 years now, maybe 6 years, since I had my last Jeep, and it's worked great. It has decent airflow, and I've tested it with this, and I got all 4 tires going. And this you can actually, if you go to my Amazon store, in the link in the bio, it's about 275 Canadian, so a lot cheaper for you Americans that are watching, but I've got it on my Amazon store, and it works great. So anyways, and it's just basically, I've done some adaptations to it to fit the standard M type fitting, because Smittybilt uses some probably Chinese thing in it. It doesn't work with anything that you get anywhere, so I kind of just cut the hose that was on there and the fitting that was on there, put my own chuck on, and it's been great and reliable, and this has been very reliable. So I'll just put this out of the way. So I apologize if the sound's not that great. I am doing this with my iPhone. So as you can see, everything fits nicely into the bag. The hose I got from Canadian Tire. It's a 3/8 inch hose. I got 50 feet, and by the time I was done for a Jeep JL 4-door Unlimited, I had about 4 or 5 feet left over. So here's the kind of the brains of it all. A Measurement digital gauge, and then here is a ball valve with a M-style connection on it. I'll come up a bit closer here. So you can see this is kind of our little man. Here's your ball valve. So that is open, and either that way or that way is closed. It's a 3-way manifold, which came with these connections here. Got red, obviously, because Ferris is red. So that all came together. It actually had a third one down here, which I took out, and then the Measurement digital gauge in top. It's all 1/4 inch fittings, and pretty easy to put together. Make sure if you do decide to make one that you use just the pipe tape to make sure you get good seals. They weren't on the ones that came on it, but they don't leak, so I'm not going to touch it. So that's that. I do have one smaller hose. I guess you would call this the whip, and this goes from the compressor to the manifold. So basically just connects on there for when you're airing up. So then you've got basically 2 sets of hoses here. One for the left side of the Jeep, one for the right side of the Jeep, Tacoma, whatever it might be. So basically, I'll take one and I'll show you here. You've got, this is the end that is going to go into the manifold, simply like that. So that's your connection for inflating and deflating. And then it comes along, and now you're passing the front tire, and you've got a T fitting here, a brass T fitting. I've just used simple hose clamps because it's the least expensive. And then on the end is a Haltic bore latch chuck on the end, and I've got one here. So this chuck is fantastic because basically you pull this back, and then it's got 3 grab points for the valve stem. So you slide it over the valve stem, and then you push this forward. It's hard to do when there's no hose. And then that clamps onto the valve stem, so it's not going anywhere. So you start by first, I'll do this after, but connecting your 2 lines into the manifold, and then you go and connect these onto each tire, and you have to make sure when you're doing that this is closed, otherwise your air is going to start going out right away before you're prepared. Okay, so these are threaded onto fittings like this, and then I got these flex lines here I picked them up at Princess Auto, and it's a Canadian Harbor Freight type store. They're also on Amazon. There's like Flexzilla is kind of the big brand that seems to be around on Amazon. And the nice thing about these is there's no tape needed. They just kind of slide over, and then there's a nut that clamps over it and keeps it all together. So these are great because you can get in to your tires. My valve stems are kind of, they don't stick out to the tire. They're kind of up and down inside the tire. So I need to get in like this, and just, you know, less stress on the hose. And then from that T-valve, you continue along with a longer stretch of hose that is going to take you to your back tire. So 2 hoses set up like this. It's pretty basic. It's, you know, you've got your chucks, your brass T-fitting, 3 hoses, and there you go. Not too bad. So that's how the setup is. Now let's deflate the tires. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out all the hose, knowing that my manifold's going to be at this end. So I'm going to work around. Nice thing about this hose is it's flexible and it doesn't kink. Let's leave one at the front of the Jeep. Run this one all the way to the back. This one's going to be on the side. Just remember, don't connect them, because if you connect them, whoosh, air is going out. Grab the next one. It's almost easier to just grab the back tire one and pull it back here. And then just set it on the ground there. Okay, so now we're going to connect the manifold to the 2 lines that are coming from each side of the Jeep. And again, you want to make sure your ball valve is in the off position. I've got this really cool flip-up license plate. Winch is under there, winch line. It's from Cascadia 4x4. Good guys out of Vancouver, BC. Also makes a great place to set that. So we'll connect the lines. 1. So that's good. We are almost set. So next we're going to connect the chucks. I'm going to try and do this with one hand to the valve stems. So you start by pulling these back first, and I'm going to switch hands here. And then basically it just fits over, and it's on there now. And you push down on that ring after you've got it on there, and you'll hear the air start to go out. So it filled the hose. Right? So if you have that ball valve open over there, the air is going to start going. And you'll notice also, now there's pressure in, and you'll see the gauge is now turned on, showing 34.6 as pressure. So now you got to do that for all 4 tires, all the other 3 tires. Okay, so all 4 tires are connected and we are ready to deflate. So one cool thing when you hook up all 4 tires, because you might have different pressure in each tire, because it's hard to get this exact same pressure in each, the air is actually going to level out with all 4 tires right now without doing anything. So even when you're finished inflating or deflating, you want to wait before you start disconnecting all the hoses, because it'll make sure that it all levels out. So right now we're about 35 psi, and I don't know, just for this we'll go down to, let's go down to 20. I went down to 15 earlier, and it's great. So we'll go down to 20. Basically you just turn this and check what the PSI is at, and I went a little bit longer there. You need to close the valve, so when you let off, it's going to read 0, so you need to close the ball valve, and that's going to give you your accurate reading. If you leave that right now, they are basically leveling out, so about 18. And honestly, I didn't time that. I could check the video time, but it's under 4 minutes to air down 4 tires from 35 down to 18 and a half. So not too bad. And just make sure you've got this valve closed. Do not unplug these first. You need to disconnect at the tire first. Disconnect at the tire. That way you keep the air in your tires because now you're at the pressure you want. Kind of see how she looks. So now it's time to deflate them back up. So obviously we need to open the hood. And then you see your motor and you realize you need to clean it. Connect up the cables for the compressor. I wish this was in a cable that didn't twist and get tangled. Okay, now you want to grab your whip because I need extra length. Connect that onto there, and then again that ball valve is closed. Connect the compressor to the bottom of the manifold, and then go start the Jeep. Okay, so again, it's kind of leveling out around the 18.5 to 19 psi. So we're just going to fire up the compressor and see how that goes. So we're going to go back up to 30, 33, 34. I did this earlier and went from 14 psi up to 35 psi. Again, I didn't time it with the stopwatch or anything, or the phone, but it took just under 8 minutes. The nice thing is I'm like just standing here. I'm not doing anything other than watching my tires inflate. I haven't seen any leaks yet. I'll do a soap test to make sure there's no leaks in the hose, but other than that, it's pretty good so far. Anyone have any questions about these lights right here? Quick commercial. These are from Vivid Lumen in Kelowna, vividlumen.com. There's a link in my profile, in my link tree on Instagram, or you can direct message me. I've got a 20% discount code for these lights. And anything on the Vivid Lumen, it's pretty noisy, isn't it? Anything on the Vivid Lumen website. So if you want that code, check my link. It's got the code. It's OK_overlanding. You can get 20% off. These lights are awesome. They've got the halo on, and then you've got the brights. And then I've also got, if you haven't seen them, I've got some 5-inch here. And then those are 7-inch down there. And then up on the roof is a 44-inch single row light bar. I'm illuminated out there. So, you interested? Send me a DM and I'll give you some more info on them. 3 minutes. That video that I just did about Vivid Lumen was just under 2 minutes long. So we're more than halfway to getting them up to 34-ish. Now, the Smittybilt runs hot, and I'm not sure about how the ARBs run, but if you touch anywhere along that black hose, that's hot. So when I take all this apart, I wear gloves. And honestly, it was hot when I was doing one tire at a time, just because I'm running it for, I don't know, there's lots of people out there that have done comparisons on how long it takes to deflate and inflate the 4 tires individually versus doing inflate, deflate 4-tire system, and you save time. The nice thing is you're not down on your hands and knees doing it, standing there or kneeling there and letting the air in, and you just kind of hook it up and then you can go have a coffee. So we're getting there. We are 34. I'm going to do a little bit of extra in just because that also includes the air in the hose. So as soon as you start disconnecting stuff, I know the pressure should be all the way the same, but as you start to disconnect stuff, you lose a bit of that pressure. Anyways, I did it on the last one to get my 35. I went up to about 36, and it seemed to level out there. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll disconnect it. Okay, so gauge is reading 36, 36.1. I'm going to close the ball valve now because I don't want, when I start disconnecting stuff, anything to come apart. So I'll let that level off and go turn off the Jeep. Okay, so get everything disconnected, and we'll go and check the air pressure on all 4 tires and see what it's at. Okay, we're going to try and do this with one hand. So we are 35.6. 35.2 on that one. And the other back tire. $35.6. And last one in there. 35.6. So it's way more accurate than when I do them all individually. So that's it. I know, without timing everything, that this saved me time. I don't really care how much time it saved me. It's cool. And just the ability to, connect and air down that fast. I mean, I've been using the ARB where you pull the valve stem out. It's fast, but you're, each tire is a little bit different. Not that that really matters that much, but this, connect it, walk away. It's pretty cool. And airing up, it's just simpler. It's simpler. I don't have to be dragging the hose all around. I guess you're dragging the hose, but you're not dragging it from tire to tire, and I'm standing. Once I connect that hose to the tire, I'm standing the whole time, not kneeling. So, and then the fact that I was able to find a nice bag to fit it all into, so it just kind of tucks in. It's pretty simple. So, hey, I'm making this for Instagram, but I'm also going to put it on YouTube. So, if you're not following me on Instagram, I'd really appreciate that you give me a follow, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Sorry. Let me know what you think of the video and the system. I'm contemplating on making them. I don't know if it would be of any advantage to any of my American followers, but for Canadians, it could be, because Canadian dollar is so low compared to the US dollar. And then I'm also going to put this combined video up on YouTube as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click like, and I really appreciate it if you subscribed as well. Dual purpose videos. Anyways, have a great day, have fun wheeling, get outside, explore, get stuck. Don't forget to air down. It's Mike from Okanagan Overlanding.